And hello guys. I hope you're doing well. And yes, Wild Rift. It's been some time, isn't it? But well, so what's happening right now? Nothing special, I just started playing a bit again. I am actually working on the toxicity. It's not easy, but we're working on it, right? Anyway, so I don't really know if I really came back to the jungle or just it's what I feel like playing right now. I'm playing a lot with a friend of mine, and I think for the duo, the strongest thing you can do is playing jungle mid, because you can impact the map so much with that. The jungler can literally be everywhere, and you can ask your teammate, your mid, to actually rotate. So jungle sub can also be a good idea, but we decided to go for that, and in those games, we actually played Wukong Pantheon and Diana. So I was a jungler in this case, and he was Diana. It can work well when you have two champions that one has a lot of burst and the other one with CC. So definitely Diana Pantheon, Diana Wukong can be really good. Other things that you can play with, Vi is a really aggressive jungler that can have like kind of a CC, like the knockback from her dash. Jax, if you play well, something like Ramos can be good. Morgan, I don't think it's really consistent. Kha'Zix can be a good one if the mid laner has CC. Something like an Ahri, a Twisted Fate. Basically, you want to have a good combination with damage and CC. Pantheon is actually really good with both of those. So, well, that's a little tip that I'm giving you. If you're playing a trio, maybe play bot lane and top. Can be a good idea, because if your top laner knows how to play safe, you can actually tell your ADC to play safe and let your support go anywhere else on the map. Basically, if you are playing duo, mid jungle, if you are playing trio, top bot can be really nice. So yeah, by the way, this losing streak was well, I'm not gonna really talk about that. I didn't do that well, even if the score, well, Pantheon is not a late game champion. You need to know to play him really well, and even knowing how to play him really well, it's sometimes not enough. There are cases, for example, where those two guys, like my bot lane, were a duo that were trolling. I think you can see by the score, and the moment I try to gank, it's impossible. The moment I try to go top, it's impossible. Well, those kind of things happen. Anyway, focusing on what matters. This. You want to have this consistency. I'm not telling that I am playing like this every game, but in a lot of my games, I can actually do that because of one point. First of all, I'm gonna talk about the champions. So, Wukong. He has an okay gank potential, not the best, but okay. You can like slightly burst an enemy. He can farm really well, and the mid-late game is really powerful. In mid-game, he shines. In the late game, he falls back a little because he kinda just dies when he goes in. So that's why I play Gargoyle, but we'll come to that a little later. Passive. Wukong and the clone from the second ability applies a stack up to 5 stacks, and each stack increases the damage that that target is gonna take. Basically, the more you attack, the more damage that target will take. First ability. First, there is a passive that gives him range every time he uses an ability. So, really good. If you want to gank, it gives more range to the dash. And of course, the basic attack from this. So, you just empower your next basic attack and you heal a bit. Simple. The second ability is a clone. The clone can copy the first ability and the ultimate. He also applies the passive. So, from a recent patch, I don't know if it was the last or the previous one, you can dash through walls, not really thick walls. I think you're gonna see it in this game. But well, they kinda need to fix this. Wukong is really powerful right now. So definitely, if you are playing jungle, you can play him. If you're playing top, go ahead. Um, yes, so anyway, the dash, you dash onto an enemy and you gain attack speed. The ultimate, he spins, all of the enemies touched basically by that spin are knocked up. Then it deals damage, quite a lot of damage because it's a percentage damage, and you can trigger this again. You also gain movement speed, so even you use the first one, don't let the other one fade out because you don't spend mana, but you just gain free 20% movement speed. So that's nice. Anyway, about the build, the one that I use, it's kind of this one, if lately I'm not playing with those two. But I'm actually going for Yumu, which in the jungle is really good because armor penetration on jungle camps is really nice. And well, for most of the time I play Divine Sunderer, which is beautiful with Wukong, but the game that I'm gonna show you, I actually went for Iceborne. But no matter what, you need the Shin. You're forced to get the Shin on Wukong. His first ability deals so much damage, the Shin just helps with that. So, since I was playing with a Diana, Abyssal Mask was really good in this case. If you don't play with the like 2 AD that can deal a lot of damage, it's not worth to buy Black Cleaver if it does really work well with Wukong. So in those cases, you can go for Surreal if you want damage, but most of the time just go tank. So something like this most of the time is what's gonna happen. About the boots, I kinda always go for this, unless it's really worth to get one of those two others. But most of the time, Lucidity. Your summoner spells have a lower cooldown, and your abilities too. So just go for it. I always go for a gargoyle. Always. Doesn't matter what am I playing against, what's in my team, what's in the enemy team, always gargoyle. What you want to do, yes, this reduces your damage, but it's not really what you want to do. On top of all, your ultimate deals fixed percentage. So I don't think it really gets reduced. But anyway, it's still a lot of damage that this can block, and that your ultimate will still do, even with a damage reduction. But the shield is really too valuable. You go in, you ult, you use this, when this fades out, you can ult again. Totally fine. About the runes, I kinda always go for this. No point in really talking. Conqueror, too strong. Weakness, too good with your ultimate. Ultimate shield, too good late game to give you another shield besides the gargoyle. And another genius, good on the jungle, more abilities. Simple. I don't really know what the other Wukongs actually go for, but that's the runes that I go. Brutal can be a really good option, but I prefer playing weakness. Triumph can be good too, depends. But I prefer going weakness because it goes really well with your ultimate. Your late game, you basically just want to go in and knock up the enemy team. Some other spells, if you go on the jungle, just take smite, of course. And I should just change this because that's the build I usually use. If you go top, it's similar to this, but you can just check what those guys do. They know what to do. Death's Dance can be a good idea too if the enemies have like 2 or more assassins. Anyway, Pantheon. Talking about assassins, I play him as an assassin. I think it's so strong and it allows you to snowball so well. Usually when I recall for the first time, I buy 2 of those. Yes, 2. Because from that you can have Yomu, you can have the spell shield from Banshee, not Banshees, Edge of Night, that's it. If you feel like the enemy have a lot of vision, you can go for this one. Like, whatever. You're gonna use it anyways. So, Cyrilda, I almost always go for Cyrilda second, because 30% armor penetration plus the natural armor penetration from your ultimate. I'll come to the abilities after. Black Cleaver also goes really well, you can stack it really fast with the second ability when it's empowered. And even naturally, if you're good enough, you can just easily put the 6 stacks on the enemies. Got an Angel, you go in, you have a free life. Basically, you go in, it doesn't really matter. You come back again. Edge of Night, it's similar, it's also another defensive option. If you need a little more damage than Guardian Angel, if you don't really feel like having armor. If the enemies have a lot of AP, Instead of Guardian Angel, maybe go for Death's Dance or Edge of Night. Probably Edge of Night, it's better. I think that's the go-to build. About the boots, you can go for one of those two. And the Proto Belt allows you to make a lot more plays, as to go in, as to run away and re-engage after. Runes, Electrocute, you want to be as aggressive as possible. Weakness, you are basically almost gonna start with stunned, so more free damage. Ultimate Shield, that's good for late game. Trust me, it's really good. And this, I think this is too good in the jungle. Ability Haste allows you to clear camps faster. So, Smite Flash, nothing to say. If you really feel like, I've already done this, but I don't really feel comfortable with, you can go for this. But I really don't feel comfortable with that. Abilities. So, when Pantheon attacks or uses an ability, it gains a stack. At 5 stacks, the next ability, non-ultimate ability, is gonna be empowered. First ability, you can tap it and it pokes with the spear, it deals damage. If you just tap it, the cooldown is refounded by 50%. If you charge it, it throws the spear. If this is empowered, it basically gives you more damage. Keep in mind that this deals a lot, really a lot more damage. And now that I'm going lethality, like armor penetration, it deals even more damage. If the enemies are under 35% HP. On late game, this is a one-shot on a squishy, for sure. So, Shield Vault. It dashes and stuns an enemy. It's a point-and-click CC. Easy to use. Even if the enemy flashes out, he's still gonna get stunned. If this is empowered, he's gonna quickly attack 3 times. Yes, it's gonna give him 3 stacks. So, early game the combo is empowered ability, like this one, you gain 3 stacks. Basic attack, spear, shield. The power shield is gonna give you movement speed, so you can chase the enemies and finish off the kill. So third ability, but most of the time in the early game you can just jump, 3 stacks, basic attack, shield, tap to trigger it again so the shield stops, and spear empowered. Most of the time in the early game you just one shot. The shield, from that direction you're gonna take absolutely no damage besides turret damage, be careful. Sometimes I forgot about this. Deals a little damage, but whatever. And if this ability is empowered, you gain movement speed, as I said. Ultimate, you passively gain armor penetration at level 3. Like, when the ultimate is at level 3, you gain 30% armor penetration. That's why it's so good with Serialist, because you're gonna passively have 60% armor penetration, plus the normal armor penetration from the items. Easy. So you just basically, it's basically a Twisted Fate ultimate. But you gain full stacks, so it's nice. Anyway, let's go into the games. Yeah, this one. I'm gonna show you 2 games, so be ready. First of all, let's watch the Pantheon game. So, even before the game starts, you have to look at both teams. You have to see who should I get ahead, which lane is better to gank. So since I'm playing with mid, of course I'm gonna have a little tendency to go mid. And you're gonna see this game that is gonna work like a charm. So, bot lane, really chill and quite hard to gank because Ezreal can just dash out, Lulu can polymorph me, but kinda possible. Top lane, really volatile. What does it mean? Irelia, Fiora. I'm gonna just put the vision just on me, so you see what I see, nothing else. What does volatile mean? Volatile means that if the Fiora gets the kill, the Fiora will get far ahead. If the Irelia gets the kill, the Irelia will get far ahead. Basically, it stops being a 50-50 to be, I'd say, quite one-sided from Iran. It also depends a lot on how good is the Fiora and how good is the Irelia. So it's always a really good, those kind of lanes are really good to gank, because if you influence that, it can kinda change completely the outcome of a game. So, I like level 2 stunt, by the way, because it allows me to gank, and most of the time, when I finish the camp, my stunt is there. So I was looking at the mid lane, I was looking at the bot lane, like nothing really happening. It's okay. And there, as I said, really volatile. A lot happening. Okay, not bad. So I'm always keeping my eyes on mid. And he's telling me how is it going. He's doing well. Look, see? He doesn't know I'm there. So, I flash in, easy kill. See? As simple as that. He overextend, I punish. I help my teammate push the lane so he can safely recall. So now, what else? It's volatile as I said. It's a really good lane to gank. So yes, I could do Scuttle, but I would have to give it up soon, really soon. So I rather do this. Boom! She was not expecting that at all. The Irelia kinda gave it up. She went just half a second early. The Fiora almost parried my stunt, but it's good. I don't know what the Mastery is doing, he should have just like left. Fiora was dead anyway. He literally did nothing. Yes, he got a kill, but just farm if you're a Mastery. If I would be the Mastery in this game, I would just play on the opposite side where the Pantheon is. I really don't want to face Pantheon right now. I really don't if I am a Mastery. So, let's go. I'm keeping my eyes on mid and I'm like, if you need help, I'm there. So I'm gonna do a blue buff. In the worst case, I can always use my ult. As you can see, really volatile. But the rally is really bad too. See this? Look at how much AD I have. 20, 40, 52. Plus 16 armor penetration. If I go onto a squishy, he literally dies. Did you saw what I did there? Use my first ability to stack my passive. I saw the bot lane was fighting, so I just went there. The Yasuo flash in, I stunned, and I get away from this. It's nice. As I've told you, I have a lot of damage. I had like 10% HP because of the turret, and the Yasuo was full HP, and my combo just put him to 20% or something. Now I have a lot of gold, I want to recall, I already have my Yum. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. 5 minutes into the game, I have my first item and lethality. So I see that the enemies got Ezreal, so I can do this, because I have bot lane priority. Always keeping my eye on top, maybe I can do something, but I just gave up on that. So, yes, by the way, I saw Fiora, this moment was really good too. The Master was completely drunk, I don't know. This is so fucking satisfying. Tell me that this was not satisfying. Anyway, so I completely gave up on top lane. Because Irelia is just permadying, and if I fight Fiora, I have a really big opportunity to get myself killed too. So I don't want to go there. I want to go on neutral or winning lanes to push them even further and to feed myself too. Top is losing, well, whatever. I cannot do anything about it. As you can see, look at this. The Yasuo can barely play. I believe that Diana could have killed him. And for some reason, she still got the first turret. Even if she dies, it's totally worth. And there you go. As I said, get your lanes ahead. And you won't get disappointed most of the time. So, quick little point. Now I just want to farm, I want my item. The bot lane is ahead in gold. The Leona was good too. She rotated well when she needed to. But they knew how to play safe, and they got poked a lot by Ezreal Lulu, which is a really poke heavy bot lane. So I think even Ashe being dying once, it's totally fine. She did really well. And I got them ahead too, so it's nice. I don't really care about what's happening in there, I just want to farm. She's probably dead anyways. Doesn't matter. And mid lane, look at this. 6,000, almost 5,000. Basically 2 items to just 1. That's what you need to do. Get the lanes that you feel like they can snowball ahead. Now I'm gonna do one little mistake. I'm gonna slow this. I know Fiora has vision on me. I heard the sound of her passive, so she does have a ward somewhere. If I actually go on Fiora, she saw me when she was walking here. Or just because of this ward here. That's a way to know if Fiora can actually... if she has vision or not on you. If you can see her, and she technically can't, but she has a ward somewhere, so... Yeah. I didn't saw her walk there, so I knew she was in one of those bushes. So what was my mistake? Yes. I should have known that she parried my stunt. I played really bad. And she gets away. So what did it cost me? I had to flash. If I would have just like basic attack... Yeah, I had literally no reason to stun her there. Literally no reason. But well. Going there just to check if the enemy blue buff was there. It isn't. So I'm attacking, so I have my passive stack. Not anymore, but well, I got chickens. You can get chickens really fast. You basically one-shot little ones, okay. So I have a lot of gold on me. But Yasuo is there. It's a free kill. Take it, Diana. Just take it. Leona got it. Okay. So at this point I'm just totally leaving blue buff to him. If he wants it. He was like, no, take it. And I'm like, no, you're gonna take it. He's a shy boy. He's a shy boy. Really, really shy boy. I can just ult in now. I have my shield to protect me and I have Guardian Angel. So it doesn't really matter what happened in there. I just like mash my buttons. And at this point I am so fed it doesn't matter. For some reason, the Irelia that was more than feeding just got a quadra kill. Look at Master E. He's doing the right thing. His whole team got wiped, but he's doing the right thing. The only problem about this is that I got my team too far ahead. He got insulted in all chat. There was like a lot of jungle div saying and... This guy is doing the right thing. His team is dying for no reason. They just have to play safe. One thing that the Master E could have done, besides doing objectives as he is, and well, is try to counter gank me. No, he won't win, but he might prevent a kill from his team. Satisfying moment, by the way. I just got back, I got this for the Cyrilda and... Boom! Is it gonna be worth? No, I'm gonna give a huge shutdown. And I almost got a kill there. Actually double kill. If I would have threw my spear, just like poke my spear, I would have got both E and Israel, but I gave so much to that Israel. Look at that. I gave him like 1k something. But I got the dragon. It was cool. But not worth. Definitely not worth. So I'm gonna skip this. The Irelia for some reason is just like killing Master E in 1v3. So Master E is just AFK farming. He has almost 7,000. I have 9,000. So does it mean that you have to completely AFK farm or just full gank? Yes and no, it depends. It depends on the champion that you're playing. You don't want to AFK farm with like a Lee Sin, with a Pantheon, but you do want to AFK farm if you are something like a Diana, Master E. It depends on the champion that you're playing, but there is a huge factor that can actually change this. It's actually what I did this game. I sacrifice my farming time to come mid in level 3, I think, 3 or 4. Then for this, instead of farming, I went top. Then I took the jungle. And I farm. So, keep your eyes on what lanes do you want to gank. And just go. It happens, like I have games where I start the game on the red buff with the bot lane. And level 2 I go gank. It works a lot. The electrocute makes like deal so much damage early game. Look at this. He's farming so much this game that is only one level behind of me. Only. In normal time, it could have been something like 2 or 3 levels behind. But because he was farming, he's not that far behind in like at least experience level. One of the mistakes that he did was actually coming out of the jungle when he came here in the early levels. So, well, at this point, nothing to do. I'm just too far ahead. What you want to do with Pantheon is kill, push turrets, kill, get objectives. Just get one lane ahead. Like, if you go top, for example, you kill the top laner, you help, you take the turret. If you kill the top laner, you take the Rift Herald. The enemy is just surrendered. That's the way you have to play with aggressive junglers. You basically want to transmit leads into objectives. So, if you're playing a farming champion, nothing prevents you from ganking, of course, but most of the time it won't work, because the champion is not really made to gank. And for some reason that I really that died 6 times, alone, pure 1v1 got the MVP instead of me. But well. So, that was a really good game in the early game to show you the power of adapting and influencing your lanes, because even if after the gank Irelia died a lot mid lane, Diana did well against Yasuo. By the way, the enemy Yasuo's name is Toxic, and if you see this guy, don't even think twice, just mute that idiot and report him. I've already had him twice in my team, and sometimes in the enemy team. And as for his team, as for the enemy team, it's never his fault. He fucking feeds almost every game, but it's never his fault. It's always everyone else's fault. And he's toxic and all that. Just report this idiot. I'm not saying that I am a good boy, you know, but anyway. So, quick look at the matchups. I'm gonna just look at me. Now I'm playing Wukong. So,
Minions have spawned.
bot lane. Jinx Brand against Draven Soraka. It doesn't really matter if I get the Jinx ahead. The Draven will still be stronger than her for the first like 6-7 levels. Until 2, maybe 3 items. So, I will lose a little time. For some reason, Mastery went there. Again, I'm facing a Mastery that doesn't want to farm. And yes, I didn't gank bot lane because Jinx didn't leash. Not just kidding. Don't do that. It doesn't really matter. The brand still held me, so it's good. Again, Diana Yasuo, really volatile. The one who has a kill in the early game can get ahead really fast. Sorry, there. Let's keep eyes on vision. What vision do I have? I have the ward here, so I know Mastery is topside, because it would have started here. The chickens are still in there. It kinda told me that he was doing the Krugs, as I show you. He went from like Krugs red or red Krugs, whatever. I still think he should have started red, even if he didn't got leashed. So, let's see. I can see him now. He's probably gonna go for the scuttle. So what did I do? I went from red, chickens, wolves, and scuttle. Why? My blue buff is up. I do this to deny it from Mastery. And yes, by the way, for some reason the Pantheon just died against an Astra. I don't know how he played. And there. I know I'm stronger, so I'm really not afraid of him. Even if he's meditating, he's taking a lot less damage. I still stack him. So at this point, Diana died. It's okay, I can help her later. But what matters here is I got a kill. I did got a kill. What are you gonna do when you get the kill? Get ahead. Get your lanes ahead. I'm gonna skip this up, there is nothing happening. I'm gonna farm a little more. If I farm enough, maybe I can recall and get my item. Actually, there was an opportunity, I saw Naz overextend, so in the beginning I wanted to do chicken Krugs, but I saw Naz overextending, so I went over the wall, so it doesn't see me, even if it does have a ward on the splash, which it didn't have, sorry, in this case, but it wouldn't see me, because the dash also makes me invisible, and Pantheon uses his ultimate to go. So I follow this, and I flash. I waited for the Pantheon to land before I flashed.
You have slain
Beautiful.
an enemy.
He almost let him die. This guy almost let me die. So do I want to gank this lane? No, absolutely not, because this guy is an
Enemy
idiot.
slain.
That's the way you have to think. He let me die. He basically let me die. I should have died. I left with like 1 HP. This guy almost let me die. So, no ganks for you. Over. I was just searching for the Yumu there. Go back to farm. In 600 gold I can have the Ghost Blade finished. Master E got my chickens. It was really good for him. Master E got the info that I was top because I killed Nash. So he counter jungle me. He played well there. He might have been really stupid to try to fight me level 4 I think.
Is under attack.
But he did well playing on the opposite side on where I am. Because clearly I am stronger than him. Look at the items for example. Let's speed this up, I just want my item. I'm gonna wait a little for my Yumu. Boots, Yumu, you're really fast early game. So there. Yasuo doesn't have ult, so it's fine. Pantheon tried to help Diana, but he should have ulted. Sorry, more on this side. Pantheon, the Yasuo just dodged him. He just lost his ultimate for free. I finished my blue buff. And there. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Why am I not going in? Just now, pause the video and type on the comments why do you think I didn't went in right now. First of all, yes, I am conscious that Master E was farming, so he didn't use this flash. He still has it, as you can see on the right of the screen. But, first of all, I don't see Yasuo, so it might be somewhere here, or or recalling. It was here. So this is a 2v3. Because if Nazo and Pantheon come, that's what's gonna happen. So, pay attention to Master Yi's HP. I'm just here. I'm literally not going in. I'm just here. Not doing anything else. Look at the damage that the Herald is just doing on him. He had to flash out from the Herald. He was taking a lot of damage. Pantheon went in. Gonna wait for Master Yi to use the first ability, so he cannot touch my ult, and then I go in. I played like shit there. I really did play like shit. I misclicked my smite, and Yasuo got the Herald. But we got 3 kills for 0. So, look at my score now. Beautiful. What am I gonna do? Take the take the turret, of course. Turret is about to kill me. That Raven ult was scary. Really scary. Definitely that turret don't want me to go. So, I gave up, but yes, we could have probably taken that turret. Look at what Diana did. She pushed the lane, it went under turret, so she can put vision and rotate. They have to be careful. Yasuo is collapsing. He probably knows that I'm there, but I'm just here to cover him. What do I want to do now? Get the dragon. But Master Yi is there, so I'm not gonna risk it. I need to kill him first, or someone else first. He's just gonna start it. For now I'm just gonna cover my mid laner. Oops. So yeah. They got the dragon. I couldn't do much because Yasuo put the Herald mid. I got the kill. I'm using my ult. Yes, I'm using my ult just for Yasuo, but a kill is a kill. I'm getting myself ahead, and that's the only thing that matters. I should have farmed just a little more, so I would have got my item. So, Shin and the Phage for the Black Cleaver, because I see that Jinx is doing really well. So the Black Cleaver is gonna give her more damage, because I'm gonna reduce enemy armor. Just AFK farming. Right now, what do I want to build is an Abyssal Mask, because it's gonna upgrade Diana's damage. And there, I don't know what they are going to do. I use my
Dominating.
ult, Diana uses hers, I use my ult. The enemies are CC'd for like 5 seconds or something. They cannot do anything, and it's still a lot of damage. Diana is a late game champion that is already fed. The game is kinda over.
First turret
And I
destroyed.
didn't came here to help protect the turret because I want to leave 100% of the local gold to her. So it doesn't matter if you have like 3 people that are fed. Sorry, I had a problem here. It doesn't matter if you have like 3 people that are okay. It matters if you have one really big guy. We've already talked about
Middle
this
turret
and
is under
why.
attack. Bottom turret is under attack.
So I'm not gonna say more about this. I use my dash so they don't see me coming. I use my ult. They okay, they got Diana, but I still got a double kill for this.
You're
Look how fed I am.
legendary. Ally slain.
There,
Enemy
I'm just
slain.
taking the minions. Usually you shouldn't do this, but Diana is dead. Again, I should have cleared just a little more, so I would have got my mask,
Ally slain.
but I preferred finishing the
Top
Black
turret
Cleaver.
is under attack.
It's gonna give me a little more damage to fight Nasr. Look at what I'm doing now. The herald is up. I'm gonna show you like this. Oops. The Rift Herald is up, and I'm strong enough. Really, really strong. Look at Master E. And Yasuo. Compare it to me and Diana. We totally win every day, no doubt at all, if we fight this. But just in case, just to secure this, look at what I'm doing. Midlife on Nasr. Just that. And you see? Look at those pings. Look at on the map. He's pinging back. Why? Because he's midlife. I put him midlife. So this case, I kinda assure that it's a 2v2 and not a 3v2. And now, I can fight this. Again, Mastery flashed out. Look at the damage on the Herald. I'm so fed that the damage that I deal, this time I got it, yes. I'm so fed that the damage on jungle is huge. We got 2 more assists for this, so it's totally fine. And look at this. Boom! Clean! And I get out from this. Beautiful, don't you think? So I dash in, basic attack, first ability, basic attack, and clone out. So I drop the herald. I just want to keep going further, but since I was the one putting the herald, I don't even need to be close to the turret to get the gold. So, just gonna counter jungle. Let's look at my gold. I still need about 1000, maybe a little less,
Enemy turret destroyed.
to get the abyssal mask. About 500.
Enemy slain. Enemy slain.
No, yes, you're not gonna fight me. Mastery was there, but, well. And look, I'm using the other part of the ultimate again. It doesn't cost anything.
Turret destroyed.
So, free movement speed. We're getting the dragon.
Slain the dragon.
Really easy. Nothing to say. We just burst it. If Mastery would come, he would instantly die.
Is under attack.
Wukong and Pantheon are 2 champions that really got happy with the ultimate cooldown reduced buff, something like that. Basically, Riot decided to reduce the cooldown of some ultimates like Galio. I think it was like Galio, Malf, Wukong, Pantheon, and some more. Wukong and Pantheon really got happy with this. As Pantheon, I'm almost always using my ult on cooldown. Almost. But yeah, I got the Abyssal Mask. As you can see, nearby enemy champions take 15% bonus magic damage with an overfed Diana. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nope. What you want to do is let the Wukong go in, ult, then the Diana goes in, she ults, and the Wukong uses the second ult. It's like this, you deal a lot of damage, and they are CC'd forever. So, what to do now? Let's look at the scoreboard. I am really big. Diana is really big. What can we do now? So, you can just try to go top and cut Nas. Basically, you walk from here and try to kill him, and then do Baron. You can just try to catch E by surprise if he doesn't have a ward on the push, which he doesn't. I should pick Sweeper more often, or Pink, instead of the normal ward. But anyways. Or you can try to go bot, get another double kill. Overall, right now, you don't really want to fight. You want to be careful with that. Fighting too much is bad because you're losing experience and gold from normal farming, so keep your eyes on farm too. I'm farming really well this game, and I'm really ahead in gold. In Master E, like 3000 gold. So I'm gonna try to catch him. If we catch Master E, we can do Baron. Look how fed I am.
Legendary.
We can do Baron, but I am so far, there is no point. So, right now, take the jungle. I'm gonna let the turret to Diana, or at least I should. No, I'm coming to help secure because Yasuo is about to spawn.
Enemy turret destroyed.
When you're doing a turret, I'm gonna give you a tip. Use the third ability on an enemy minion. Basic attack on the turret. By the way, yes, the clone doesn't deal any damage when you use the ability, the moment that you use, but it triggers your Sheen. So, get movement speed, attack speed, because you use this on an enemy. Minion, for the turret, not to attack you, obviously. Then, basic attack first ability. Attack like 1 or 2 times. Clone, but just like clone to the turret, so the clone is really close to it. Basic attack, first ability basic attack. This way you can kinda mid-life a turret late game. And even early mid-game, probably. So it helps you take turrets really fast. Optimizing your damage, optimizing the clone and the first ability to actually eat the turret. So let's see, this moment was kinda a little funny because I kinda got baited by Jinx's trap. There, I didn't want it to go on Draven. He decided to flash on my tornado, so whatever. Look at this. Oh, by the way, this game. If you look in the early game, Jinx just shot her ultimate mid lane and killed Yasuo. Anyway, let's speed this up. Nothing happening. I decide to go for this. I'm already fed enough, and I already have a lot of damage from the Yumo and Black Cleaver, so going for damage is really good. Next item is gonna be Randy Win because crit, crit, crit. And it kinda reduces the attack speed that Nasha is gonna have. So the Randy Win this game is so valuable, and Diana is gonna go for it too, later. First she finishes the Lich Bane, and as a last item. For me, like, I think 3 offensive items are good on Diana, but then 5 is a little too much. By the way, yes, I got baited by the Pantheon, I don't know what he did. And I got kinda surprised that everyone was there. My bad. I'm just gonna skip this. So, those 3 first items, like offensive items on Diana, good enough. Then go for like 2 tank items, 1 armor and 1 magic resistance, because she has enough damage. You can even go as a Diana for Abyssal Mask yourself. It does work on you. Yasuo got caught. I go in the middle of the enemy team. Spin to win. I'm gonna bait Nash. I have 1 HP. I still have my gargoyle. Okay. Gargoyle did his job, so fine. Now we cannot go for Baron because I'm too low. My team is gonna go for Dragon. I'm gonna eat, like, attack camps, so I can gain a little bit of HP. And this is secured. Now, we just have to finish this game clean. How do we do this? We recall, we spend our gold, we try to get a kill. No, now we just want to run. We just need to get away from that. Look at how much gold I have. I have my Randy Wins. Or close to. I'll let her red buff to Jinx because she's doing well. Don't do this, please. If you're in the DDC and your jungle is doing a camp, don't steal it. There you go. Randy Win. Randy Win. We're gonna be really tanky against the enemy team, and I want to go in. Wait, I go in, knock up onto 3 people again. Diana used her ult. We are just too strong at this point, and we don't even need Baron. By the way, yes, we fight this because 2 of them were here for some reason. So we just decide to open the mid lane and finish the game. Simple. That's how you do it. Play with information. If you want to play jungle, play with information. Know what to do with it. So,
Victory.
2 things, actually 3, that you have to keep in mind. First of all, there are no plans. Yes, you might say, okay, I'm gonna do this camp into this camp into this camp and gank bot. But you have to adapt. You have to change that plan. Depending on a lot of conditions. Think like this, you want to gank bot lane, but the bot lane is pushing towards the enemies. You're not gonna gank that. It's gonna be a really bad play. It's gonna miss, almost for sure. So, the consistency that I'm having in those games, it's about I don't want to AFK farm, I want to be proactive in the early game and take leads further. As you can see in those games, I'm really fed. Even in the games I lose. Yes, I have some bad games, everyone does. But in the majority of my games, I just do well. Because I look at what lanes are good to gank, what lanes are good to actually get ahead. Careful that sometimes being good to gank and good to get ahead is not the same, not that easy. As a Pantheon ganking a Fiora, for example, it's a little risky because she can parry your stunt and just dash out. But if you get a Darius or a Nirelia ahead against a Fiora, there it can be a good idea to gank, even being a little risky. So, recap, play with the info that you have. Keep in mind if you are stronger than the enemy jungler or not, if you want to fight him 1v1 or not. Look at your lanes and try to check what you want to get ahead. And then adapt your basically plan on the moment to what you actually can do. Wait for the enemy to overextend, go behind them, easy kill. Adapt. But for this, I recommend you to rewatch these games and try to look at the way that I'm playing. When you play jungle, you don't want to look at yourself, you want to look at everything else. Anything can happen in this game, so always adapt to it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay the way you are. You're amazing. See ya.